We're gonna try some new makeup together today. I have the new Saie powder. I have this beautiful lip balm from Valentino, which they recently launched. And I also have some newer to me product and a new sunscreen that is mineral. I'm also gonna try two of the Hourglass eyeshadows that they recently launched in today's video, but I'm gonna upload it as a separate video. This video probably will come up sooner than the rest of the makeup. In my hunt to find a good mineral sunscreen in the US, I found this Kate Somerville Skin Health Experts Mineral SPF 50+. This is called Hydrate Illuminating SPF 50+ Drops. Protect, Hydrate, Illuminate. Broad Spectrum Sunscreen. Water resistant up to 80 minutes. This is how it looks like. It has 24.5% zinc oxide to it. So it might be a little bit too drying for me, but we'll see. But it says illuminating drops, so I'm assuming that's not the case. Remember, with mineral sunscreens, we have to shake well before application. Oh, it is a pink sunscreen. I forgot I swatched this one before. It is very pink, a lot pinker than anything else that I've seen in the market. But since it says illuminating, I think it is gonna be a good one under the foundation. I usually don't use tinted sunscreens under the foundation, but this seems to be very thin, and also the color does not match my skin tone at all, so I'm not gonna use it alone as my base in a way that I use other tinted sunscreens. I put it on this side of my face and you can see it has a gray pink cast to it. The texture is very thin and it feels nice on the skin. It doesn't feel too tacky, it mostly feels like silicone-y. And it doesn't feel drying at all. I think this is gonna be a great one under the foundation. It is very lightweight, moisturizing, not too glowy, not too tacky, but it has a little bit of tack to it. And the color is not overwhelming my skin tone, which is nice. So far so good. I like it, but I won't wear this one alone. This is not something that I feel comfortable in. I might powder this if I want to wear it alone. Might use the CL powder that I recently found. I really like that powder. That was the Kate Somerville Hydrate Illuminating SPF 50 Mineral Sunscreen. For my foundation, I'm gonna use this booklet that was sent by Sephora. It is the Yummy Skin Serum Foundation from Danessa Myricks. I have used their serum skin tint. That one dries out my skin a little bit. It is beautiful when I first put it on, but after it has been on my skin for like an hour, it starts to dry up and show my dry patches, and in general it is too drying for my skin. This one, a lot of people are happy with it because it is a bit more full coverage and apparently it is a bit more hydrating, so we'll see. I am shade 3 in their skin tint, but in this one I might use 5G because I think that's the only one that might match my face. This is not a new product, it is new to me. It is a newer foundation in her line, but it is not new in a sense that it launched like 1 or 2 months ago. I think 3P is gonna be too light for me. I believe you're only supposed to use a couple of drops of this foundation. Yeah, this is a very full coverage foundation. It reminds me of her original foundation. That one was also very full coverage. This feels nice. It feels a little bit more moisturizing than the skin tint. Alright, let's try it on. I think this is enough for one application, and if I like it, I will pick up the fuller size. I'm gonna use my glass palette and put some of this on the palette, and then I'm probably gonna use my sponge. The sunscreen has dried down really well. It still has some tackiness to it and I can feel it on my skin when I touch my face, but in general I don't feel it that much. And I have a feeling the white cast has gone away, or the gray cast, after it has been on my skin. So it might be because the zinc film is creating on my skin and now it is matching me better. I'm working it into my sponge. Yes, this is a very full coverage foundation, so you don't need too much. Very full coverage. This is a good shade match for me, number 5P, I believe. Actually 5G, so it is 5 golden. You saw how much I worked it into my sponge and it's still a lot of coverage. The amount of coverage is very similar to her original foundation that she has had for years, but the consistency of this one is a lot thinner than that one, which I'm happy about. That one was super thick. This is a beautiful foundation. I have to say, on the areas that I have some dryness, it is clinging a little bit to those dry areas, like here and here. I have had some dryness, but usually they don't show up this much, but everywhere else it looks beautiful. So if I don't have any severe dryness, this is gonna look good. Right now my skin is not in its best condition. If you have more of a normal skin, in a sense that you don't have dry patches, which I sometimes don't, you can use this foundation and I think you're gonna be happy with it, but make sure you are using a hydrating base before your foundation, because I think this needs a hydrating base or primer. This is how my skin looks like right now. It is not so full coverage that doesn't let the illumination from the sunscreen peek through. The mixture of the two look great, but we'll see by the end of the video how they look together. For my concealer, I'm gonna use this Vanish concealer from Hourglass. I've used this one before years ago. I wasn't very happy, very impressed about it, but I've seen a lot of people mention it as their favorite, so I decided to pick up a mini version. I think mine is shade Oat, yes, Oat 3. I remember it was a bit too thick for me, but my skin has changed a lot throughout the years, so we'll see how this works for me. This is the mini version. The full size version is the one that is like rectangular or a boxy shape, but I didn't want to pick up a full size version of a concealer that I knew I have used before and I didn't like. I just wanted to try it again. Especially since my CL Cosmetics concealer is on the thicker side and I like that one recently, so we'll see what happens. Let's use a wet sponge on this side and I'll use a brush on the other side. I have noticed sometimes brands change their formulation throughout the years, but they don't tell anyone. Yeah, this foundation is making my dry patches here visible. Everywhere else it looks beautiful, so if you have dry patches on your skin, maybe this is not for you, but otherwise this is beautiful. I am also noticing a little bit of settling into my fine lines on my forehead. The concealer is looking good right now. Let's try a brush for this one. This is angled concealer brush from Danessa Beauty. Right away, I think I like the sponge better because it was soaking up some of the extra foundation, so I'm gonna go back to my sponge. I like using this sponge a lot more. I have to say the concealer is also clinging to my dry patches, so it might be because I have a lot of dry patches, but that actually is a good test for those of us who have dry skin. This foundation and this concealer might not be very severely dry skin friendly. I have less dry skin under this eye, and the foundation and concealer both are looking good. Now let's use this one from Saie. This is Lip Tint Undetectable Baked Setting Powder. I picked up shade 1 translucent, but then when I received it, I think it is a bit too light. If I like it, I might pick up another shade, like shade 2. This is how it looks like. Very much like MAC powders, and also this reminds me a lot of the Pat McGrath powder. That one might not have as much glow as this one, but it looks a lot similar to that. The look of the powder, I mean, and also the ones from MAC, those baked powders that they have. I've noticed a lot of Saie products, the powder products that they are launching recently, look a lot like what MAC had or has in their line, and they've had it for years. I'm gonna first set under my eyes, and I'm gonna use this Angie Hot and Flashy A506, which is the collab with BK Beauty. This has a little bit of a glow to it too. I applied it right here. Here I applied a little bit more here. And as you can see, it is a lot lighter than my foundation, which I applied here. So I might need number 2. This is a very soft powder and it looks good in the pan, but it is not original. There has been other powders with this consistency or better in the market before. But I have to say the Pat McGrath one and the MAC one, they don't have a glow to them. I can't see a lot of the glow here either on my face or under my eyes. We'll see all over the face if I see anything. I'm gonna also set my eyelids. Now let's try this all over the face. I'm gonna use BK Beauty 102. This is a big fluffy brush. Let me set this side of my face first to see how I will look and compare it to the other side. I'm happy to report that this didn't change the consistency of my makeup, and also it didn't change the color that much. Do you notice anything? I don't notice too much of a difference in color between the two sides, which makes me happy because this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone. Let me apply a little bit more because it still feels a little bit tacky. Very lightweight powder. Let me use BK Beauty 105 on the other side. I think this is too loose for this powder. I think this is better to pick up the powder. Yeah, this is picking up much more. This does pick up a lot. I usually use this one for bronzers or blushes that are hard to pick up. It doesn't feel very dry. I still feel a little bit of tackiness. I do have the powder on my skin. I can see it in the mirror. This side of my face is the side that is super dry, and I feel like it sets my makeup, but it doesn't look too bad. But it doesn't look too blurring or anything. Let me apply a little bit more here. Remember, I'm applying a lot so that I can see the consistency. You don't have to apply this much. It does have a little bit of glow to it, and now that I have applied more, it is starting to show up more glowy, and also it is brightening my face a little bit more. No hard pan. You know what it reminds me of? I think this reminds me of the Essence highlighter a lot more, the Pure Nude highlighter. That one was exactly this color. I don't have that one in my collection anymore, but I sometimes used to use that one all over the face. This looks a lot like that one. And the consistency is very similar too. So that one might be a cheaper version of this. If you want, I can compare them. I can go pick it up and compare the two together. But I believe the Essence Pure Nude highlighter is a bit more powdery, a bit less harder to pick up, which is what makes this powder a lot more undetectable. That one picks up a lot easier than this one. Even the packaging is very similar. I'm gonna put on my Jones Road brow gel. This is not a new one, but I don't have a new brow gel. I like this brow gel. Not as much as my ABH one, but this is a good one. I especially like the longer bristles, and it doesn't flake throughout the day. This doesn't look bad. I have to try it more, but so far so good. If you apply a lot, it is gonna be detectable on your skin, exactly like the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. Every time I would go overboard and I would apply a lot more, it would look detectable on my skin. For my contour, I'm gonna use this Makeup Forever Artist Sculpt powder in the color S430 Marvelous Peanut. This is not a recent launch. They have had it for a while now. I never got to pick it up. I wanted to try it in this video because I picked it up, I think, during Sephora sale, and I haven't used it yet. I have swatched it a couple of times. This is how it looks like. It looks like a very promising color for my skin tone as a bronzer and as a contour. This is how the color looks like. They did have these powders before, but I feel like they changed the consistency because those were a bit too patchy to apply. These are a lot more smooth. I'm gonna use Van Gogh's number 2 brush from their collector's collection. This is a good bronzer shade. I have to mention something else. I feel like I applied a little bit too much of the Saie powder here and here because I can see my pores now and they are a lot more prominent than usual. So if you have pores, don't apply too much of it on your pores. Exactly like the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This is a good bronzer shade for me and it is very easy to apply. This is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. I'm so happy I finally picked it up. For my blush, I picked up something that I have used before, but I haven't used this color. This is one of the Dior blushes. It is called Rouge Blush. Color is 339. I think this is the color Grayish, but I'm not sure. I will put it in the description box. I thought I picked up color Grayish. This is the swatch. It looks beautiful. I love these Dior blushes. They look so good on the skin. I'm gonna use Chikuhodo cheek brush for this one. You have to be a bit careful with Dior blushes in this packaging. They are a little bit hard to blend if you blend it out on a face that is not powdered. That is my experience. This is a beautiful natural color. I don't think I have this many pores that Saie powder is showing on my face. It felt like more of a finishing powder to me, but I have to use it more to let you guys know about my final thoughts. These might seem a little bit too patchy at first when you apply them, but after you learn how to apply them, they look very undetectable on the skin and they look very natural too. I really like these blushes. For me, they are worth more than the backstage blushes, as I talked about it in my full face of Dior. Those are a little bit too impactful, a little bit too saturated. That Saie powder is giving me a lot of reflection in the camera. I think a part of it is also the shade. It is too bright for me. I might pick up the darker shade to give it a fair shot and to report back. For my actual bronzer, I also have something that I have used before, but I wasn't a fan of. Then I saw someone pick up a darker shade to use it as a bronzer, as a glowy bronzer, and I was like, yes, that's what I want. I wasn't a fan of the lighter shades. I also sometimes do that with my MAC highlighters. I pick up a darker shade to use as a blush topper or as a bronzer topper. This is the Haus Labs Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. Color is bronzite, and I saw someone online using this as their bronzer. It seems like a very cool tone bronzer online, and after swatching it, it also shows up as a cool tone bronzer, more of a cool tone bronzer. It doesn't show up like that in the pan, and it doesn't have too much glow to it. I think it will look good as a bronzer, but I have to be very careful because this is very dark and very glowy. Ooh. This is very cool tone. I think I picked up too much. I was saying I have to be careful with it. It is easy to fix though. Okay, let's try it again. This time I'm not gonna pick up too much. I like it. You have to apply the littlest amount though. I'm kind of scared applying it to my cheeks, so I'm gonna use BK Beauty 102. In their models, they had some models with lighter skin wearing this, so I'm assuming they have thought about it. Yeah, a fluffier brush is the way to go, and it looks good. It took away some of that yellowness on my skin. They had a lighter shade, but that one was a bit too warm for me. This is a beautiful powder. It is glowy, but at the same time, it is very blurring. My face is a bit too shiny here and here, and it is not shine from the foundation or from anything else that I applied that were liquid. It is actually from that Saie powder. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna apply this as my eyeshadow, and I will clean it up and apply those two eyeshadow palettes for my next video, which is gonna be off first. I'm gonna use this one from Van Gogh's number 3 from the Collector's Collection. This is a very fluffy one. Very beautiful one and done eyeshadow, just like the ones from Fenty Beauty. I like her highlighters more as eyeshadow than as highlighter. This looks good all over the face. I like it, but it also looks good on the eyes. Let me apply my mascara and be back to apply the lip gloss. I cannot put down this lash extender mascara from e.l.f. It looks so beautiful for an everyday mascara. Now let's apply this Valentino lip balm. This is Spike Valentino lip balm. I picked up shade 199A. I think this was the darkest shade they had. It looked really good on the models. This is a new launch from them. It is a plastic packaging, but it looks good and luxurious. It is very heavy and it has a magnetic cap. There is the Valentino logo at the top. Yes, this is exactly what I expected. Very emollient. It melted down upon touch. This is the color, more like a purpley color, and I think it's gonna look good with this bronzer and eyeshadow. You can build up the color too, but this is enough for me now. And this is how emollient, how balmy this is. I didn't think I'm gonna like it this much. It is a hybrid between a lip gloss and lip balm. Not sticky. I already feel like my lips feel a lot better and they were super dry today. I don't feel any lip plumping effect. Hopefully it doesn't start in a minute. The only thing I don't like about this is the taste. It tastes a bit like soapy to me. Alright, this is the finished look. I loved both of these bronzers. This one from Haus Labs, I liked it as an all-over bronzer, but you have to be careful if you have lighter skin tone like me. You have to use it with a fluffier brush. This bronzer from Makeup Forever is beautiful. It is very blendable. There is no patchiness whatsoever, and it is a perfect color for my skin tone. The Dior blush, I knew I'm gonna like the consistency and I know how to work with it. This was a favorite in this video. I think I'm gonna use this one a lot under my makeup, especially on days that I have a lot of dryness. The powder I'm not sure about. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't like it. I think I used a bit too much because I wanted to see how it looks like, because one layer wasn't enough for the tackiness on my face. And I think the color also plays a role. It was a bit too brightening for me. I might pick up shade 2, but right now I'm not 100% sure that I love this powder. It is good. It is not bad. And if you have used the Pure Nude highlighter as an all over the face powder, you might like this one. Right now I'm not sure. I have to use it more and I think I have to change the color for this one. The concealer I like, I don't hate it, but this is not my favorite concealer. I don't hate it as much as I hated it before. They might have changed the consistency. My makeup techniques might have changed. I don't know which one it is, but it feels a bit thinner than before. Before it felt a lot thicker to me. It has a very good coverage, but it is not crease proof. I can see creases right here where I have crow's feet. But I like the coverage. Same goes with this foundation from Danessa Myricks, the Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. Very full coverage, very beautiful. I would apply it with a sponge. It creased a little bit into my fine lines and also it clings to my dry patches a little bit. But I feel like since I applied it and since this have had some time to sit on my skin, it looks actually a little bit better. The lip balm surprised me a lot. I thought this is just a hype, the Valentino makeup, but I actually like the lip balm, so I might try more products from them. I've heard good things about their foundation, but it is not available on Sephora anymore. I ordered the CH foundation, Carolina Herrera, from their website. They recently launched a serum foundation that claims to be very hydrating and at the same time very long lasting, so it was very interesting to me to see how that works. It was very expensive though, so that one is also coming up very soon. That's it for this video. I hope you liked this video and enjoyed watching me apply some makeup on my face. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked this video and maybe consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!